Okay, so I'm standing here with the U10 girls soccer team here in Kahnawake, and of course, as you heard earlier, Shelly Jacobs and Martin Morris's team were the gold medal winners this year. But here we have the U10 girls who also medaled, and so we're going to take a quick interview with them, see how everything went. And how did you enjoy your season, girls?
Good.
Okay. How long have you all been playing for? Various amounts? Your first year, okay. And you?
Second. It's been about since I was 4-year-old.
4. Wow.
Maybe when I was the U8. I was 6. My first year. We got really better as we were practicing. We got better against strategy when we were playing. We lost 8-0 against them the first game, and then in the playoffs we came back and lost in a shootout, and we only tied the game 1-1, and then they won us in a shootout.
So overall, you have a good coach?
Yes. She's really nice.
Did she pay you to say that? No. She paid.
No.
So Shelly, any final words you want to let people know?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank all the parents that supported Martin and I throughout the season. Without your support and you bringing your daughters to practice, we wouldn't be where we are. And you guys were a fabulous group of parents to work with. Complete joy. Thank you.
Well, that's great, Shelly. And to you, to Martin, and the rest of the parents, and of course the players, all the best. And we look forward to seeing you guys next year.
Yeah, certainly. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Good job.
Well, don't go away. We have lots more here on Aorihwa.
Welcome back to the program. Moving on to the by-election, which took place last Wednesday, with nearly 700 people coming out to vote.
After a day of casting ballots, the 11th chief on council is Clinton Phillips.
Yep, and I find this very ironic considering the fact that when there was a call for re-election after Kahnawake Gilbert had been removed from council because he didn't qualify, as the ordinarily resident, that Clinton Phillips was actually the next person on the list after Kahnawake. And because there was no process in place, they had to have a by-election. But if they would have just said, well, you know what, we'll go with the next one, it would have been him, and then he was elected anyways.
I had heard that several times from numerous community members, kind of saying well, why didn't they just do that in the first place?
Yeah, why all this money? The other thing too, why all this money spent? What was I think one thing that people found very frustrating was that there was no process that was in place for something like this. Yeah. And really they have every right to feel that way because electoral reform has been on the Mohawk Council's agenda, for the last, I don't know, this is our 3rd election that we're covering here at Aorihwa. So every year there's something, and every year it hasn't been dealt with. So this was just an entirely new situation, but there was no process in place. So that was a big complaint that we heard here at Mohawk TV was...
And like I said, even
when are they going to deal with these issues?
And even just speaking with people on the street, kind of thing, and talking in front of the water cooler, I think a lot of people kind of felt that they were a little tired already of because elections are not easy for anybody involved,
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I was something to take into account. For next time.
And there was no candidates night for the second round of nominees. And that was another issue that some people had brought up, well, what, we're second best? You know what I mean? Because there was new nominees that were running, and it wasn't as made a big deal of, I guess, so the process was,
in my opinion,
was it a budget issue or,
In my opinion, I think it was just a big chunk of money that could have went to something else if they would have just had something, in place. I mean,
a process.
A process.
Yeah.
You live and learn. Live and learn, right?
Yeah.
Live and
All right,
learn.
so next time-
Congratulations to Clinton.
Definitely, congratulations to Clinton Phillips.
And we invited him on OTR to come and talk about being a new chief, along with Kahnawake, Sky Deer, and Carl Horn for next week. Hopefully, you'll be seeing them on the record next week, and to talk about what it was like to go through 2 elections
Through that process,
within
yeah.
a couple of months of each other. Yeah.
Okay. Well, moving right along.
Yeah.
The Kahnawake Gaming Commission released its final decision on the Ultimate Bet cheating scandal. Here's more on that story, along with a few other news highlights in Zawana Aorihwa News Briefs.